right, good morning, everybody. I hope your Tuesday is off to a good start. It is going to be the coldest we're going to feel for the rest of the week. Isn't that good news? I'm Lana Harris. This is the First Alert Desk. I'm here to make sure you are caught up on the headlines, the things that are going on this week that are notable and that you should know about. The first one we should really bring attention to because if you live in Mableton, you're supposed to be voting. You need a new mayor, you need city council members, you need 6 of them, and there's been extremely low turnout so far. So, again, first ever mayor, city council members. Voters decided to make Mableton its own city back in November, so this is what people there wanted. But in picking who's going to lead you, again, first ever mayor and city council members, just over 2,600 people out of the nearly 80,000 people who live in Mableton voted early. That means roughly 75,000 people would still have to vote today. Now, we did check. There are about over 40,000 registered voters. That's still tens of thousands of people who did not vote early and would need to vote today. Now, 4 people are running for mayor, 24 people are running for the 6 city council seats. If necessary, a runoff election will happen on Tuesday, April 18th, but it seems like that would depend on a whole lot of people getting out there to vote today. I mean, maybe the limited people who do vote all vote for different people and there will be a runoff. But hey, just a reminder for you, get out there. The polls are open as we speak. The polls are also open in Clayton County. Clayton County, you guys need a new sheriff. So, of course, there's been a lot of backstory with this this election here. Last week, former Sheriff Victor Hill was sentenced to 18 months in prison, and he was convicted of violating the civil rights of inmates by ordering them to be strapped to restraint chairs for hours. So the 5 candidates that are now on the ballot are interim sheriff Levon Allen, Clarence Cox, Dwayne Fabian, Chris Story, and Terry Evans. Now, you saw some school video there. It's because you guys are also voting on SPLOST. That money goes to schools and whatnot. So make sure you always also get out to vote there as well. Our third story is one a lot of people have been talking about and a lot of people have been maybe a bit worried about for many reasons. Today's the day that former President Donald Trump believed he was going to be arrested. Now, there was never any evidence of that, and we've actually learned that Trump is not expected to be indicted by the grand jury in Manhattan today, but that it could actually come by the end of the week. So, law enforcement is on high alert right now. Trump called for his supporters to protest and, quote, take our nation back. So since then, NYPD has been bringing in steel barricades to surround the Manhattan courthouse and the district attorney's office, and new fencing has gone up around the U.S. Capitol in Washington. Now, there have already been small groups rallying near Trump's home in Florida and in New York because they feel the DA is weaponizing the office to pursue political persecutions. A lot of high-level Republicans have agreed with this. They've just called for any protests to remain peaceful. Now, unfortunately, intelligence sources say they have seen a significant increase in threats and violent rhetoric online from domestic extremists, but none were credible or directly at a person or a place. But of course, after the January 6th riot, people are taking them seriously.
I've never seen people so intent on doing so much damage like they did at the Capitol. It makes this protest and this group of people a greater threat than normal.
So, meanwhile, Trump's Atlanta-based legal team is filing a motion to get rid of the special grand jury report here and get Fulton County's district attorney removed from the case. Of course, we know that he is under investigation here in Georgia. Well, now Trump's legal team wants the findings to be expunged from the record, and they want all the evidence to be suppressed. They claim that they got it unconstitutionally. They also want Fulton County District Attorney Bonnie Willis and her entire office to be disqualified from any further investigation or prosecution. So we wanted to know what the likelihood of that could be. Is this a reasonable request? Do you think something like that would happen? We asked Atlanta-based criminal attorney Erica Wilson whether she thinks a motion like this would actually be successful.
Absolutely not. I mean, we're dealing with the grand juries, and this is a special purpose grand jury at that, and they have very unique powers that other grand juries don't have. I don't see it being successful. They are an arm of the court, so it's analogous to just saying, hey, let's just throw out a judge's ruling. The report does carry weight. It can be very influential.
All right, so let's talk about gangs, big issue here, specifically in Atlanta. I know it's an issue across the country, but we've seen a lot of crime happening, and now lawmakers are looking at how we can make our children more safe and secure against that. Okay, so Senate Bill 44, which is also known as the Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act, that passed the House. Now, that would create a 5-year minimum prison sentence for gang-related offenses, and then it would add another 5 years for recruiting a minor. We can tell you leadership are actually on both sides of this proposal. Listen to both arguments.
But if you really want to look at the most vulnerable, let's look at those children who are being put into gangs, and let's get rid of the people who are out there recruiting them.
So if we really care about saving our kids, if we really care about doing what is best for the most vulnerable among us, we ought to vote no against this bill, and we ought to get down to the business of doing the things that stop kids from joining gangs in the first place.
Now, the bill does allow judges to have some discretion in certain cases where sentences may be reduced, but the legislation now heads back to the Senate for a final vote. All right, this next story, I think the whole state is talking about because it is so weird. Okay, imagine you wake up, it's early in the morning, you kind of just getting that crust out of your eye, you're just making coffee, and you see a buffalo or a bison outside of your window, and you think, did you drink a little bit too much last night? No, that's Rick Ross's buffalo roaming around. That's what's been happening in Fayetteville. So Rick Ross, the rapper, has a home in South Atlanta, in Fayetteville. Some people in his community say they have been getting out of their enclosure and a little too close to their homes. So Rick Ross keeps a lot of animals on his property, and in a social media post, he admitted that the buffalo that have been seen in neighbors' yards do belong to him, and the neighbors aren't happy about it. Those large beasts have been snacking on the grass. One woman pointed out these tracks left behind by these massive animals, and the neighbor claims it's just not the first time it's happened, and she's worried about her family's safety. The kids, the small pets that play outside. She doesn't want anybody to get hurt. That's fair. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office is investigating, but says there are no reports available because there's no crime that's been committed. It is perfectly legal to own livestock in Fayette County, but their owner is responsible for restraining them, and they can actually be charged if negligence is shown. So, if you see Rick Ross's bison, just be nice to him. They are apparently very docile in most cases, but they can be aggressive. So it's not something you'd want to see when you are outside. You maybe just walk away slowly from. But I can tell you about outside, loosely. And it's going to get warmer than it is right now. But who can give you a more firm check of outside? It's Courtney Jacobazzi.
I love how you said loosely. I can loosely tell you what's going on.
It's cold.
It is. It's cold. It's sunny. So we'll, I guess, take that, the silver lining in the forecast today. But we do have some warmer air on the way. a freeze warning right now, none of them. So we actually are going to be quite comfortable. Still cold. You'll definitely need a jacket as you step out the door tomorrow morning, but low 40s is a lot better than low 20s and teens like we've had the past couple of mornings. Enjoy it. For those of you who have maybe been kind of covering your plants or anything like that, you won't need to do so for tonight at all or for the foreseeable future. Let's talk about the rain chance. Again, mainly north of Atlanta. Could go as far south as Cherokee County. We could see some showers, but it's all a part of a quick disturbance that's going to pass by. It's just essentially a wave of energy that will bring the chance for a few showers, mainly up in our far northern counties. So Blue Ridge, LJ, parts of Towns, Union, Rabun County. That's where we're going to primarily look for the rain tomorrow. But again, we could see showers as far south as Cherokee County, but all just light rain, nothing to go ruining any kind of plans you might have for your Wednesday. Now let's talk about the late week rain and storms. Thankfully, because of the timing of this, one, it's not really necessarily going to ruin any plans for the Friday night into the weekend, but it's also not going to bring us severe weather. So if this was coming in during the heat of the day like it is out in parts of Mississippi, we'd probably be talking a different story, considering we're going to be in the 80s on Thursday and Friday, so that warm air would definitely provide fuel for storms. But this is going to be more of an overnight event for us into early Saturday. So here's 11 a.m. Notice that front kind of moves in around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning, and then clears out as we head towards 11 o'clock in the morning. So by lunchtime, we should pretty much be dry. It will end up being a breezy day. We'll see a lot of sunshine for the afternoon, and thankfully, what might be secondary to, or the second best thing next that we're not expecting severe weather right now, is that we also aren't going to have a cold blast of air follow behind this. So temperatures behind this front will stay mild. We'll stay in the 70s all weekend. The overnight lows are not going to be frigid. They'll be chilly, not frigid. We'll be in the 50s when you wake up Sunday. But mid-70s Saturday with that early morning rain chance that should clear by your lunch hour. If you're in far north Georgia, so again, if you're maybe taking a trip to the mountains this weekend, it should clear just after pretty much sunrise for you. And then Sunday will be in the mid-70s. We will have mostly cloudy to cloudy conditions on Sunday because we do have a second weather system that does look to move in as we head into Sunday night, and that will linger into Monday. We will be watching the rain and storms on Sunday into Monday a little carefully. Not that we are expecting severe weather right now. It's way too soon to tell that, but we definitely will have some energy Monday afternoon. Right now, it looks like any kind of best chance for maybe a stronger storm would be over towards central Georgia, not here in North Georgia, so down towards the Macon area. But we'll still watch it as, again, if that rain does linger into Monday afternoon, then we could have some fuel, especially with temperatures near 70. We'll have high enough moisture content, all the things that come together to produce stronger storms. So we're just going to watch for it. Right now, definitely not a sure bet, just something we're keeping an eye on. In the meantime, mostly sunny to partly cloudy later today. Again, clouds will build later this afternoon. Spotty showers tomorrow for the mountains. Temperatures near 70 tomorrow. The morning finally not freezing. We'll be in the 40s tomorrow morning, so still chilly. And then 80s return Thursday and Friday. We do have rain on the way late Friday night, so we're talking overnight hours. We took the rain chance out for Friday because the day Friday, and when most people are doing anything on Friday, unless you are an extremely late night person, we're talking 2, 3 o'clock in the morning kind of person, you will not be impacted by the rain. The rain should move out by around, again, 11 o'clock, so by lunchtime we should be dry. We'll see clearing skies. We'll see sunshine. It'll be breezy on Saturday. And then Sunday, that rain returns later in the evening, so if you have any dinner plans on Sunday, you might be impacted by the rain, and that will continue potentially into Monday. So just an early heads up on Monday. Your commute might be a little bit of a rainy one. The timing will kind of fine-tune through the weekend, but in the meantime, enjoy the mainly dry week and the warm week with temperatures in the 80s, and we'll hover in the 70s to round out the weekend and start next week. It does look like we're heading into a little bit of a wetter pattern. In fact, Climate Prediction Center, who gives us information on temperatures and rain outlook all the way to the end of the month, so it goes out several weeks, does hint that the next couple of weeks will be warmer and a little bit wetter for us here in North Georgia, and that is kind of kicking off, it looks like, as we head into the end of the week and into the start of next week. Just something to prepare for. No first alerts. Again, if we do think that we'll have more thunderstorm activity or that your commute will be impacted greatly on Monday, we'll give you the first alert, but right now we are going to keep it just at a chance for showers Sunday night into Monday, and of course on Saturday morning as well, very early. So enjoy the no more freezing mornings. I know personally I'm very excited about that, to not have to blast my heat all day long and have the winter coat in spring. We will have some warmer days ahead. We'll be near 80 on Thursday, and then of course we'll keep you posted on the rain, but right now it shouldn't impact most of your day on Saturday or Sunday. So if you have any weekend plans, by the way, the First Alert Weather Team will be at the Georgia Food and Wine Festival this weekend over in Marietta. If you want to come say hello, we will be there. It looks like if you have those plans this weekend, if that's in the cards, then the weather will be really nice for it. Just going to be breezy on Saturday. So something to keep in mind if you are doing anything outdoors, especially if you are one of the vendors and you're putting up tents and stuff. You just want to be careful on Saturday. In the meantime, enjoy the day today. Enjoy the sunshine, the more mild air out there. And we'll catch you guys here next time.